In this country, the railways were built during the Victorian era. Many of the railways are 150 years old, and they were all built with what's called a different gauge. Now, if I try to explain the gauge, when you have a tunnel or you have a bridge or you have a canopy over a railway platform, unfortunately, modern containers are now 9'6" high as opposed to the traditional 8'6" high. This gives a better payload or a better capacity utilization on the ships, and that's the way all containers are now being made. But if you go through a tunnel and it's 9'6" high, you effectively hit the top of the tunnel. The way around that is to reduce the height of where the rail lines are by a foot, or to increase the height of the tunnel or the canopy or the railway signalling. So that's called gauge enhancement. So what we need is a modern railway to handle the modern traffic. To do that, we need investment in the network of the railways around this country, in particular the East Coast Main Line, and before that we need to upgrade the ability to get from the docks at Teesport, which is about 10 to 12 miles, to get out to the East Coast Main Line near Darlington. That has to happen first.
So you've got two problems here, haven't you? You've got the problem of getting it to the East Coast Main Line, and then you've got the problem on the East Coast Main Line. Perhaps you could explain first of all what the local problem is.
Well, the local problem is that we are, as I said, about 10 to 12 miles away from the East Coast Main Line, depending on which route you want to go. If you want to go north up via sort of the Durham area to get to Scotland and the Scottish markets, where we can collect containers of whiskey being exported to, let's say, Japan, or we're taking in Christmas trees to be delivered to the retail outlets. We need to go that way up there. That's about 12 miles. If we want to go south, we want to go via Northallerton to get down towards York and down as far as Peterborough or the Midlands towards Birmingham. So we need to upgrade the East Coast Main Line, and that's a very old traditional railway. It's been the traditional link between London and Scotland for many, many years, and we see that as a national problem. But first, we've got to get out from the docks, which is on the sea and on the coast, and to the East Coast Main Line. That's not very far, but unless we've got that upgraded first, then we just won't be able to get the boxes away from the port.
And then what do you need on the East Coast Main Line?
Well, on the East Coast Main Line, we'd like to be able to go north to Scotland to get to Glasgow and Edinburgh and those markets, and south to get to the Yorkshire conurbation around Leeds, Wakefield, Doncaster, and then further afield we'd like to get down to the Midlands. We don't want to go south beyond Birmingham, but we'd like to be able to get down to places like Derby, Nottingham and Birmingham itself to be able to deliver to the distribution centres that are covering that great big conurbation that is the East and West Midlands.